Raw is coming to Netflix. We now know it's going to be on the 6th of January 2025. And let's not get our underwear twisted here, my friends. That's a really big deal. And dare I say it, it could change everything. Why? Here's why. We got to the why way too fast. Usually I have to bleat on, then you leave a comment below going, Simon, just get to it, which is a great point. Let's just go. Here is the deal though, even though WWE at first was talking to Netflix about putting NXT on there, soon as the conversations did evolve, they went, well man, WWE Raw is also up for grabs, we consider that our A show, why don't we go and change the game? Now this wasn't a fluke either, because Netflix didn't become the biggest streaming service ever without looking into this kind of stuff, and in 2025, do you know what they're excited about doing? Live stuff. So no more is it, man, I'm gonna binge watch this series, you're gonna tune in at 9 p.m. on a Saturday, and you're gonna get something live and in color. So I suppose you could call this a little bit old school, and Netflix have already dipped their toe, because they have done it with some sports, and they have done it with some comedy, but these have been one-off events, so if you do want something you know you're gonna get every single week, do you know who people always turn to? It's professional wrestling. I mean, honestly, go back into the history books, they're always at the front of these causes. Live sports especially is something that everybody is interested in, because just go and be a nerd and read about TV ratings and licensing fees and all of that. I mean, if you're an NFL fan, you're not gonna wake up tomorrow and not be an NFL fan. That's why the rights fees keep going up and up and up and up and up. Amazon Prime is all about that at the moment, because both the NFL and the Premier League, they keep buying up. I suppose Netflix is watching this from afar going, well, you know, we could probably do something like that, but why don't we try a cheaper alternative to begin with? Which is when they reeled in WWE. Now, as already mentioned, this isn't the first time sports entertainment has been used as a guinea pig, but it does mean we have all of the questions. I mean, are there going to be adverts? If we pay for the premium version of Netflix, how long is Raw actually going to be? Are people going to swear? Is it going to be more adult? I mean, you could actually make it 10 hours if you wanted, but please, for the love of everything, don't do that, because you don't need to cut the show off at 11 p.m. Nothing's going to be coming after it, because again, it's just a standalone live program. This is why I'm so excited about it though, because from a product point of view, well hell, I've said it once, let's say it thrice, it genuinely couldn't be game-changing. Now WWE has already teased this earlier in the year, when The Rock just turned up to Raw and started dropping F-bombs, but we also got that footage after he was done beating Cody Rhodes, where he was shouting, man, why are you going to turn the camera off? I ain't done. Now listen, I'm not saying that it's super duper adult, but it's way more adult than the things WWE had been doing beforehand. Now all of this is going to be so much easier to do on Netflix, especially because it doesn't matter when you tune in. I mean, let's say you're busy from 8 to 10, but you're not busy from 10 to 11. Well, that's fine. Come on down, my friend. We got something for everyone. It also means if you do learn that Dwayne Johnson called somebody a useless prick, and then made Seth Rollins bleed, well, it's right there, looking at you, on your Netflix account, and for the first few months, it's probably going to be the #1 thing on the homepage. So you can just jump forward to the most relevant part you want to see, so it is going to be like an interactive box set that will be there forever. I mean, we hope forever. That's a big conversation right now when it comes to physical media, but that's a different video for a different day. And Netflix aren't going to mind the more adult language either. In fact, they'll probably push for it, but as everybody has said, let's not go too crazy with it, because you know the deal with F-bombs, it's most definitely less is more. If everybody starts saying flub, then flub doesn't mean anything. I mean, South Park made that swearing episode about 15 years ago, and as ever, they were right on the money. On a far grander scale though, all of a sudden Raw is going to be available to so many more people. I mean, Netflix is in so many damn countries, so if your big goal in 2025 is to be as accessible as ever, I think this is probably the way to go. And I totally get the argument, well now you're not going to have people flicking through TV channels, so you won't pick up the casual viewer, but that is such an old school mentality as far as I'm concerned. And what most quote unquote normal people do these days is they sit their ass in a chair and they load up Netflix. So actually when they see the WWE sign, they may go, no, I remember the Rock and Stone Cold, I'd like to watch these guys again. And then whoop, bam, here's your nan, you're back in. It's why WWE has to do their job and create good content so you are interested, when I do have to talk about what I like to call the mother effect. Now bear with me with this one, but in no world, in no universe, is my mum gonna go, oh, I'm gonna watch the USA Network or TNT over here to check out WWE. But I tell you what she is gonna do, watch Netflix. So one day maybe she goes on that app and sees this wrestling thing and goes, oh, my son enjoys that. Maybe I'll watch an episode of Raw. Now honestly, my mum will last all of 3 seconds. When she will turn it off, That is 3 more seconds than you getting anyway. Once again though, if you are a Laps fan and all of a sudden you see Raw next to, I don't know, TV show The Diplomat, maybe you do dip your toe back in, you get that nostalgia feeling in your Tootsie Toes, and then you see Cody Rhodes, and for whatever reason you think Cody Rhodes is the greatest thing ever, well, you're probably going to watch next week. I mean, hell, The Rock is going to be all over these early Netflix shows, and everybody knows Dwayne Johnson, so that could be the reason you at least watch 3 episodes, and then again, maybe you see Roman Reigns with his wonderful beard, lovely hair, and you think to yourself, well, I could do with more of that. I mean, I really wouldn't be surprised if we do Cody versus The Rock on one of these Netflix shows, especially because when we're talking about SmackDown, that is about to leave the Fox network and go back to USA. I mean, you need to get people so damn worked out that they still want to watch the blue brand, even though it is on more traditional TV. And if you have Cody and The Rock on there going, we're going to fight on Netflix, well, I think a lot of people are going to be pumped. It's why the Netflix deal is kind of mad, because I do believe it's like $5 billion for 5 years, but that deal can be completely extended, which kind of sums up how Netflix is approaching this. I'm sure they're pretty confident, but they also want to wait and see. I mean, I think if they want, they can stretch this out to the next 15 years. That'd be totally bonkers. It also means that WWE's plan will be streaming for the long haul, and yeah, that is the future. There's no need to look to the past. It also comes at such a good time too, because much like Zoolander, WWE is so hot right now, but it is so hard to keep that momentum up. But I tell you, a great way to do it, jump to Netflix. I mean, it even sounds dumb coming out of my mouth. It's like a dream scenario. So I do think this is super exciting, and it's going to be so damn novel when 2025 does roll around, and I load up Netflix to watch it. And also, just to tie into this idea of retroactiveness or retrospectiveness, as well as The Rock, do you know who all of a sudden is going, maybe I can be at WrestleMania 41, it is Stone Cold Steve Austin. So again, if there are some Lap fans out there you are trying to fish in, well, that's the way to do it. And sure, I am a massive nerd, so I am going to feel this way, but I truly think in a few years, we may look back on 2025 and say to ourselves, well, that was a dawning of a new era, and man, we're actually going to call it the Netflix era. So we went Attitude Era, and then Ruthless Aggression Era, and then PG Era, and some people go Reality Era, I don't know what that means, and then Netflix Era. We need better names. Still though, I have to say, good work team, you have put together a very interesting deal, and that's all I need as somebody who is gonna watch all the time. It keeps me interested, and it keeps me glued to my television set via a streaming service. Now look, there's gonna be loads to say about this, so please do drop me a comment below, especially if you're not into the Netflix thing. I mean, some people hate Netflix. Is this gonna change your mind? I don't know, I can't answer for you. When bam, you click the video on the screen, which is me talking about professional wrestling. I mean, what do I know, but at least I wiggle my hands when I do it. Also, please do like the video, share the video, and subscribe. And again, my friends, remember, wrestling is just there to entertain you, so if you don't like it, bam, kick it to the side and go play in the park or have an ice cream. Do something that makes you happy, for goodness sake. I'll see you soon.